So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and my experiences looking back at my education. So, I'm deaf, and going to school from 5 to 11, primary school, was fantastic. I used sign language, I had lots of support, it was absolutely great. However, when I went to secondary school, it was quite different. The support was minimal, and it was a mainstream school, so I needed the support when all the other kids were talking. I had no idea, and I missed a lot of information. I went to a deaf unit for extra support where they helped you with English and maths, but I mean, it wasn't enough to compensate for what I was missing in classes, and a lot of the basic stuff they did I found really easy. I then went to a deaf college. I'm really happy that I went there because it made me realise who I am, and it made me identify who I wanted to be as a person. Everyone was deaf and everyone signed. It was fantastic. The staff were even deaf, so that sign language is used as a first language. I just couldn't believe what an extreme difference it was from school. It was so much more relaxed, and it just made me feel like I wasn't that different from everyone else. My mum and dad used to get annoyed at me because I wasn't keeping up with the work and everything, but it was nothing to do with my knowledge and my brain capacity, it was the communication. So that was a great experience, and I was there for 3 years. When I left, I went back home, was trying to find some work, got a volunteer job at a deaf blind charity, supporting them, their husbands and wives, making tea and coffee. I mean, it was really good, and I used the different signing because there was a lot of people with Usher syndrome. So, I mean, it was really educational. It was sad when a few of them died and they moved on. I then went and worked somewhere else where people who have been abused or raped, so it was supporting them and giving them life support so that they could better their own lives. And that was a really good experience, but it was very emotional. I then got a job at Walsall College, working with people with learning difficulties, helping them gain their own independence, basic life skills, taking them shopping, cooking, cleaning, dressing themselves, just basic life skills. I then went back to college and wanted to get an MBQ in higher education. I hadn't got any qualifications like that at this point, so I had to do some basic subjects again. No, sorry, I had only done basic subjects at school and GCSE, so I needed to get some more mainstream ones. So this was access to higher education, and that was led to me going on to university. It was a 2-year course. I did psychology, general studies, communication with English, and maths. Because you had to have a minimum of a GCSE in maths. So then I ended up at Wolverhampton University. That was 1995, and I studied English with interpreting first year. It was really interesting. I was really looking forward to it because it was like another side of the information. So I had an interpreter working with me, but the whole interpreting and translating was quite difficult, voiceovers with me being deaf. So I changed my course I changed the module, in second year and did it with special needs inclusion studies. I graduated in that with a BA Honours, a 2-1. I was so proud of myself, couldn't believe I'd achieved it. And the question was, now what? I went travelling for 3 months, just enjoying my freedom, finding out a bit about myself, doing different cultures. There was a group of 3 of us and we had an amazing time. Absolutely life-changing experience. Upon coming back had to get a job again, but managed to find some volunteer work with some deaf students doing maths and English course in a mainstream college. Also studied doing lots of different things like mechanics, subjects I would never have experienced before, but supporting them doing their studies. I then decided I wanted to complete a PGCE, so I worked really, really hard to become a qualified lecturer. And I completed that and became a qualified lecturer at college. I'd done my NVQ level 3 and level 6, and I was supporting students as well, doing English and maths. It was translating the information so that they could understand it, and taking information in English and translating it into BSL. I really enjoyed that. And now I'm wondering about what I'm going to do in the future. Quite fancy doing the QTLS qualification, because I'd worked with children up to 16, but what about older and their futures? And you have to have a QTLS for that. I think that's an interesting thing, and possibly where I'm going to go next. Or maybe into some more work. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure I'll get there.